I want to give the Steelers some credit here. They've got a huge game this week against the Ravens. Ravens are 7-3. The Steelers are 7-2. Um, the Steelers will be playing the front end of their rivalry, home and home with the Ravens this week, and um, I really think that this is starting to look like a different Steelers team. It's amazing to think about all that Mike Tomlin's accomplished over the years in Pittsburgh and keeping that team competitive year in and year out. This is his 18th season in charge, and he has never had a team under 500, which is a remarkable achievement. But of late, they've been good, not great. And I think that that's the big question in Pittsburgh, and has been the big question in Pittsburgh over the last few years is, can Mike Tomlin get them back over the hump? As great as they were early on, they've only been to one AFC title game since making their last Super Bowl in 2010. That's 14 seasons now. That AFC title game, that was 8 years ago. And getting to that AFC title game is the last time they won a playoff game. So it's been a while for the Steelers to get over that hump and to be more than just a good team, but be a team that's a true contender. And I had an interesting conversation about this with Minka Fitzpatrick, one of their leaders, after their thrilling win over the Commanders in Washington on Sunday. And he told me that the difference in this year's Steelers versus past Steelers is the way that they're producing in critical situations. And it was obvious the way that really worked out for them on Sunday with the big throw from Russell Wilson to Mike Williams down the sideline to give the Steelers the lead. And then the play by DeMonte Casey and Fitzpatrick himself to stop Zach Ertz short of the first down to lock up the win. I think you see that element where this team does seem to have that clutch ability, that ability to perform when it's needed most. And then I think like Mike Tomlin gives them an edge, and how he handled the quarterback situation. And like, I'll be honest, I'll be the first one to say, like, and going on what I was hearing out of that building, a lot of people felt like Justin Fields should remain the starter when they were 4-2. I thought that was the right thing to do. But Mike Tomlin, has great instincts for where his team is, what his team needs, where an individual player is. Obviously, he thought Russell Wilson could give him something in the passing game that Justin Fields wasn't giving him. I think the saying that he used there is that good can be the enemy of great. And so, like, we've seen Russell Wilson open up the passing game a little bit in a way that Fields wasn't over the first 6 games of the year for the Steelers. And, then there's just the fact that if you go to Russell Wilson, you can always go back to Justin Fields, where if you had stuck with Justin Fields in that situation, it would have been much harder to go back to Russ. And Russ really has opened up things for them offensively. And I think both he and Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator there, deserve credit for it. Arthur Smith for really taking what Russell did well in Seattle and fitting it to what the Steelers do. They've done an effective job marrying the movement stuff, the run game, the passing game, just kind of melding all that stuff together and making that stuff look alike. It's how Russell Wilson was able to succeed at such a high level in Seattle for all of those years. And then I think for Russell Wilson, he deserves credit for buying in. I think Russell, for a time in his career, really wanted to see what it looked like if he played a different way, if they deployed him a little bit more like a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady. Well, that didn't work out in Denver. And I think it does take some humility to realize what I thought wasn't right. The people in Seattle were right. They had it right. Like the way that we were playing there under Pete Carroll, that was the right way to utilize my talents. I think buying in the way that Russell's bought in is an acknowledgement of that. And maybe it took failing in Denver for that to happen for him, but he deserves a lot of credit for accepting it now. I think it's a big part of why he's been able to be successful.